What's up YouTube? My name is David Warren and welcome back to this week's video. Today I'm going to talk to you about family nurse practitioner salary. What can you expect to make as a family nurse practitioner? This is going to be one of a multi-part series on nurse practitioner salary. I really want to break down the different specialties of nurse practitioner salary and talk to you about that. If you're new to this channel, consider subscribing. This is all about being a nurse practitioner and being a CRNA student. I really want to combine those two and give you content from both sides. And today, as I just said, it's going to be on nurse practitioner salary. There's a lot to say about nurse practitioner salary. I've posted multiple videos. If you see any around my page, I'm going to link some up here, all about nurse practitioner salary. There are a wide range of topics under that roof. I try to do at least one video a year addressing nurse practitioner salary. And this year, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I really want to break it down and give you like actual evidence as to what nurse practitioners make. In past videos, I've showed you what I've made, and I've also told you what I know people make around the country just from conversations with other professionals. But today it's going to be different. I'm going to dive onto the internet and I'm going to show you exactly what nurse practitioners are making across different states. So let me know if you like that part of it. Now, to jump into nurse practitioner salary, there are a wide range of topics that I want to cover and a wide range of things that I want to tell you about. The first big group or big division that I want to make for you is whether you are employed or you're an independent contractor. So if you're employed, you're going to be a W-2 position. And if you're an independent contractor, you're going to be 1099 is really the big divide. And so the big difference in those is with an employed position, you're employed by somebody. They take your taxes out of each check and they provide you some sort of benefit, whether it be health insurance, life insurance, 401k, something of that nature. They provide some sort of benefit to you, and that's usually the benefit of being a W-2 employee. As you're employed by a hospital, a physician group, something of that nature, or you're employed by your own business, so we can get into that later. There's also the 1099 position, which is typically when I'm traveling as a nurse practitioner. When I was traveling before CRNA school, I was under the 1099 classification. And that just means you're a contractor. And so that just means whenever you work a set number of hours, you're paid a lump sum. They don't take taxes out for you. And there are some other differences in those two distinctions between W-2 and 1099. This is really not the video for that, but I just want to make that distinction for you, that there are W-2 positions and 1099 positions. You can think of W-2 as being employed, 1099 as being a contractor. And so those are the big broad categories. Salary is also going to depend on your location, obviously. So more populated areas, more populated states, big metropolitan areas, you're probably going to make less money. And this is like big, broad, 30,000 foot general overview of nurse practitioner salary from what I've seen and what I've experienced. If you are in a big city, there are probably places you can make good money, but big terms, big picture, you're probably going to make less than you would if you were in like a smaller rural area. So big city, you're probably gonna make a little less. Smaller, underserved area, you're gonna make a little bit more. And there are obviously benefits that come with that. There are the benefits of living in a big city. There are also big drawbacks of living in a big city. There are benefits to living in a small town, and of course there are drawbacks to living in a small town. But I really wanna make that distinction for you. I really want you to understand the W-2, 1099, and then the metropolitan area. Big city, you're gonna make less. Smaller city, you're probably gonna make a little bit more. Obviously, states are going to depend on this as well. So if you're in a big populated state that has a heavy income tax, California, New York, really anywhere up north, you're probably going to make a little bit less because everybody's going to get their palms greased as far as the government. They're going to take cuts. State income tax, federal income tax, Social Security, Medicare, et cetera, et cetera. Now, if you are in a state with no income tax, then you don't have to worry about paying state income tax. Texas, Alaska, Washington, I think. I'll have to double check on that. It's either Washington or Oregon. Comment below and let me know if you know off the top of your head without state income tax. So those are kind of the big broad categories of things salary-wise that I want to mention to you before we actually jump into nurse practitioner salary. So with that in mind, I'm going to take you over to my computer. We're going to dive onto the internet and we're going to see just what nurse practitioners are making. Let's head over there now. All right, welcome to my computer screen. We are going to take a look at several websites here And I'm going to try to break this down by region of the country. So I want to start probably on the West Coast, move to Central America, and then get over to the East Coast. And when I say Central America, I mean like central United States, not like actual Central America. I think you get what I mean. So we're going to pop in family nurse practitioner, and I'm going to start in Texas because there's some gems here that I want to show you. Salary, nurse practitioner salary in Texas is not that great. Prime example right here, CVS Retail Care. Look at that. This bottom number here is probably going to be new grad pay, $39.47 an hour. $39.47 an hour. This is a full-time 30 to 35 hour a week float position for our clinics located in defined region of the greater DFW area. Minimum pay $39.47. So there are a lot of reasons. This is not the video for this, but there are a lot of reasons that there are nurse practitioner jobs offering $39 an hour. I think that's flat out ridiculous, and it's a product of massive oversaturation, but in this particular area. But nonetheless, they're offering $39.47 an hour. Now, let's scroll down, see if we can see something else. Here's something else. Austin, Texas, Harbor Health, $119,000 to $129,000. Let's see if we can even see what kind of group this is. So we're looking for a team-oriented nurse practitioner, multi-specialty clinic group. So this must be some sort of multi-specialty group, probably not just family medicine, but probably multiple specialties under one roof. So 119 to 129. Here's another one. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Here's another one here. Paragon Healthcare, $47 an hour with a max of $58 an hour. PRN day shift week. Really looking for anything. PRN part-time or full-time. So this is an infusion clinic, it looks like. $47 to $58 an hour. $65 an hour, Pearland. This is a family medicine clinic. This is actually a good representation here. Family medicine clinic must be comfortable working independently under the supervision of a physician. That really doesn't make sense, but okay. You're either independent or you're under supervision. You can't really be both. So $65 an hour, not bad. $7,000 a month, Texas State University. This must be like a student health job. Yeah, student health, $7,000, commensurate with experience. So less experience, you're probably going to make a little less than that. Another thing I wanted to point out here is salary estimate. Look at this here. There are 593 jobs with a pay of $47.50 an hour plus. So from $47.50 an hour to $52 an hour, that's where the majority of jobs lie in Texas. So as a nurse practitioner in Texas, you can expect to make between $47.50 and $52 an hour. Let's just do some quick calculations to see what that might be. We saw that job earlier, 39. It was for like 30 something hours a week, but let's just for generous sake say 40 hours a week times 52 hours a year. That's $81,000 a year for that particular job. So $81,000 average, we'll say it's $50 an hour in Texas. 40 hours a week times 52 weeks in a year, $104,000. That's what you're looking at in Texas. All right, let's jump over to California. That's where I'm at right now for anesthesia school. All right, California nurse practitioner, family nurse practitioner, looks like probably a family practice clinic, primary care occupational medicine, $140,000. That's average. I've looked at this prior to doing this video, not this particular job, but I've looked in California prior to doing this video. That's accurate. $140,000 is probably average. This one here, instant urgent care, $125 to $160. Again, $125 is probably going to be more new grad type salary. $160 is going to be seasoned. You're going to make more in California than you are in Texas, clearly. Let's scroll down so we can find something else. $115 to $150, primary care OBGYN, looking for full-time. And University of California, Riverside, $100,000 to $141,000. This is oncology, primary care, hospice, and palliative care medicine, full-time and part-time. So you can expect to make $100 to $141 there. All right, American Family Care, Northwest Fresno. This is actually where I live now, is in Fresno. Cardiology, occupational medicine, $65 to $85 an hour. So the lowest we've seen so far for California, they've really given whole number ranges. Probably 115 to 120 is about average, but let's just take this number here. 65 an hour times 40 hours a week times 52. That's 135,000. That's kind of right on track with what we saw earlier. Now, let's have a look at New York. Oop, I don't know why I did that. Let's see here. All right. New York. Get over to the East Coast. All right. Oh, same thing. Look at that. CVS Healthcare, $39.47 an hour. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. It's just wild. And some people have commented on my prior videos when I've told you that there are advertisements for nurse practitioners making $30-something an hour. People are like, no, that's not possible. Well, here is actual empirical evidence, $39.47 an hour. So I don't know what to tell you. Here's one, 145 to 180. That's more like New York. All right, outpatient clinic, private practice, 145 to 180. That's accurate, I would think, for the East Coast. Let's see if we can find one more for. All right, there we go. Valley Stream, New York, 63 an hour, primary care. That's average. All right, so let's take that. 63 an hour times 40 times 52. That's 131 a year. Not too bad. All right, now switching. These are mostly W-2 jobs, I would assume. They didn't really specify 1099 or W-2, but most of the time when you see jobs on Indeed like this, unless they specify 1099, they're probably going to be W-2. Now I want to take you over to Wilderness Medical Staffing. This is the company that I traveled with as a nurse practitioner to remote Alaska, and I want to show you some of the differences in pay. So just a heads up, these are travel positions, they're not full-time positions, and it's 1099. So they're not taking out your taxes, they're not giving you benefits or anything. When you go to their site, let's just go to look at open jobs. Let's just click on this first one here. So primary care, beautiful Southeast Alaska clinic in November, 10,320. They're looking for November 6th to November 28th. So a little less than a month, and you're making $10,000. So that's actually really good. Let's see. All right, here's another locums job, beautiful Southeast Alaska, November and December, $26,000. So you're working 11/7 to 12/30 with a possibility to extend. You're making $90 an hour, no call, no weekends, primary care practice only, 1099 position. So roughly for 2 months, you're making $26,000. So that's $13,000 a month. Really not bad at all. I do want to go back to this other one that we initially looked at. This 10,320 here. Let's just go back to that for just a second. So this is November 6th to November 28th, we saw earlier. Primary care clinic 5 days a week. $86 an hour, $129 an hour overtime. So that's really anything over 8 hours. And this looks like it's primary care clinic. There's no call or callback. So the thing with Alaska is it's usually the only clinic there, like in that site. And so there's no hospital. So everybody in that clinic, you're doing everything. So you're like taking care of emergencies and primary care issues, and then you're medevacing any emergencies to the hospital, which is usually a plane ride away or over an ocean, because it's usually an island if it's down in Southeast. So $86 an hour, not bad at all. That's average for that area. Let's see here, NPs and PAs, 18,700 in Northwest Alaska Occupational Medicine Clinic. So 10/20 to 11/3, so like 3-ish weeks, a little over 3 weeks, $18,000 for that. You're doing primary care and ER, solo provider. And again, this is what I wanted to show you here. The reason you're making so much money here is because it's remote, it's a rural area, you're working independent, and you're a solo provider. All of those reasons are why you're making almost $20,000 a month, $30,000 a month. $1,100 a day for every day you're on assignment. 1 day travel to and from assignment will be paid. So even you just fly on a plane for the day to get there, you're getting paid for it. This is what I did for several years as a nurse practitioner. I contracted with Wilderness Medical Staffing, and you're making I would make average $30,000 a month doing this. So these are some of the higher paying jobs that you can get as a nurse practitioner, as a locums travel nurse practitioner. So I would encourage you to take a look at this side as well. That's something you're interested in. You can make really good money doing travel to some of these remote areas. So that's what I have for you as far as nurse practitioner salary. If you are a nurse practitioner and you're willing to share your salary, comment below. Let me know what you make. Obviously, if you're a psych nurse practitioner or if you work in some high acuity environment, you're probably gonna be making more. This video is really geared towards family nurse practitioners in 2022. If you're an FNP and you're willing, comment below, let me know what you make. I would love to hear it. I really wanted to kind of switch this video up today, jump on, give you some actual empirical evidence on what you can expect to make as a nurse practitioner. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.